Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Dayna Show. I'm your host, Dayna Kaplan. Before we begin, if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel, follow me on social media, and like this episode and comment below. It really helps me out. I am so excited to bring on another inspiring guest today, Akiva Nachman, who him and his wife and family, a lot of us have been following, are called the House of Lev. They have made they converted to Judaism, made Aliyah, are now raising their 6 children here in Eretz HaKodesh. And I'm so excited to have him here today. We're going to discuss the Jewish soul. We're going to talk about the process of converting. We're going to talk about how Jewish life is for him now. And of course, we're going to talk about his music. He is a fantastic musician. And the reason that he caught my eye was I heard him and saw him on TikTok. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to have this guy in. He's incredible. Am Yisrael Chai. Let's get into it. Let me know what you think in the comments. So, first of all, welcome to Modin.
Wow, thank you so much. I'm happy
Welcome to Israel. Welcome to the Dayna Show, and welcome to Judaism.
Yes. I'm so happy. Welcome to all of the above. I'm so happy, grateful. Thank you.
Akiva Nachman, I'm so honored that you came here today. I've been following you and your wife, House of Lev, your whole spiel for a long time.
Wow, thank you.
And obviously, we're all in awe of your journey. We're all watching you. But when I saw you a few weeks ago on TikTok and I saw your music, I was like, wow. Like you are really contributing to Israel, to Judaism, to everything. Like it's so exciting.
Baruch Hashem. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be able to have certain gifts and to be able to share it. I'm so grateful.
So for the people that don't know who you are, which I'm sure there's only a few, but can you talk about your journey a little bit?
Sure.
Like, can we go back a little bit before you made Aliyah, before you even converted? What was your life like?
Wow. Okay, we got a lot of time?
Yeah, we got a lot of time. We're not on the clock.
Okay, good. So I come from, I'm born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
And I come from a very, very loving family. Very loving, very just together. It's all about family. Very musical family, too.
Really?
So I grew up in the church. So my aunts and uncles, grandparents, parents, they're all singers, musicians. My dad, he plays bass guitar. And so I remember waking up in the mornings and my mother, she's playing all kinds of music and just very, very musical. And so music has always been a big part of my life. And, very family oriented. I went to a performing arts high school. I remember I was planning on going to just a regular school after 8th grade. All my friends were going to just a regular public school. And my mom came home and she was like, hey, I found a performing arts high school and I got you an audition day. And so I was like, okay, I was singing at the time, like, this is beautiful. So auditioned, made it, and it was absolutely life-changing. I don't know if maybe you've seen like High School Musical or things like that.
Of course.
Right, well, you have those moments where those kids like singing, doo-wopping in the halls and dancing in the halls. Like that was my high school experience.
Wow.
It was incredible. And
what was your name in high school? What was your nickname in high school?
So first my old name was Ladero. That was my birth name.
Ladero?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And
Ladero?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So it's a name from the South. So it's usually it's Daryl, like in the Mississippi, Arkansas area, and I'm named after my father.
Okay.
And then when I was in high school, I became like I was like the choreographer. Like the hip hop choreographer in my school, and so I had got the name Jig. That was like my name.
Like dancing a jig.
Dancing a jig.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so my high school experience was amazing. Right after high school, I immediately went on the road as a professional dancer. And that was life-changing also. I got a chance to travel all around the United States And I didn't go to college. So it was interesting. It was an interesting turn of events because going into high school, I had plans, and also my family had plans that I go to college, do the regular thing, and once I got into my performing arts high school, things just started to change, and I guess that those gifts and the talents, the calling, started getting stirred up, and it's like around 10th grade, I did a music video, and they flew me out. It was a whole thing, major production in Atlanta, Georgia, and it flew me out, and it was just a whole thing. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a dancer. I want to be into music, entertainment. And at that moment, I was like, I don't want to go to college. And so it was a big uproar in my family kind of thing, as you can imagine.
What did they want you to do?
They wanted me to go to just graduate, get a degree. Not necessarily anything in specific, but there's not a lot of people in my family who have graduated with degrees, like went to college and done the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so people in my family wanted me to kind of,
They had hopes for you.
They had hopes for me.
Okay.
But I was like, I've never been the type of guy to do things that I'm not passionate about. If it's something I don't want to do, I'm not going to do it just because other people want me to do it. I've always followed my heart. And I was always doing the opposite in my family. Like nobody in my family, I don't want to say nobody, but I've always done extreme things. Things that are not so common.
I hear you.
Things that are, but in my mind, it's not extreme, but to other people, it's extreme, But I just always follow my passions and my hearts, and I wanted to do things different, Got into, again, so I'm dancing, doing entertainment, singing, and it was a little bit after I started making music officially, I met my wife. I met my wife at a club, at a nightclub. And that was the beginning of just.
Do you remember the second that you met her?
100%. I can never forget that. So I'm walking to a club, and I see this beautiful woman. She's standing with her friend, talking to somebody that I actually knew, and he was a photographer. He was talking to her, and I guess it was about pictures and things like that. Because I knew him, I went up to him and I kind of pushed him out of the way, and I introduced myself to her, and so she was just so happened to be going into the club that I was going into, and we kind of like hit it off that night. We danced and exchanged phone numbers, and that was it. And things moved fast with us. We got married 9 months later.
Wow.
And we just knew. We went on a couple dates. I waited like a couple days to call her, kind of thing. And then first date, took her to a carnival with my brother. It was it's just a whole thing, and it just moved fast. We just knew that this was it. That
feeling of that you just knew, was that the same feeling that you had in terms of becoming Jewish?
100%. It's something in your soul that you can't really put into words. You can't really explain it. It's just a knowing. Yeah.
Do you mind talking about like the conversion and everything? I know you guys talk about it, but I know there's like this inyan of like not talking so much about a ger, about their past.
No.
But I'm really curious about it. Tell me how the idea came up.
Yeah. So for us, first of all, we love talking about it. This is my wife and I's our whole thing. We started our YouTube channel because we wanted to document and share our experiences.
Right.
Right. And I'll get to that a little bit later. So when my wife and I got married, we were strong, we were Christians. And so we were, going to church every Sunday and doing the whole thing, but we got to a point to where we wanted to really like have a relationship with God for ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I believe like for me growing up, especially getting into my adulthood, I didn't really know God for me. It was something that was just kind of instilled in me, and this is just what we do. We go here, we do this. It's just emotions thing. I didn't have that personal connection for me. So my wife and I, we were kind of going through the motions for a while, and we began to just really start asking questions. It was like, why do we believe this? Why do we believe this? And so we started like doing what you call church hopping. You're going from church to church and like looking for that place where we can feel like this is home.
You talked to different pastors and you asked them questions, and their answers weren't like giving you any kind of
Nothing. It was just the runaround. And see, the thing is this, in Christianity, you don't really ask questions. In some scenarios, you actually are like, you're scolded for asking questions. If you ask certain people questions, they're like, we don't ask that.
Oh, okay.
Don't you ask that question. You just believe and that's it. That's like the foundation of Christianity. It's just like, there's no it's just you believe. All you got to do, you believe and you're good.
Okay.
That was it. That wasn't enough for us.
Right.
We wanted substance. We wanted something that was real, something that we can feel.
A relationship.
That's what we wanted.
Right.
And nobody could really give us these answers. And we trying to figure out, what is this like? What is this Messiah idea? You know, I'm like, what? It's starting to get a little weird for us. Just to believe in this supernatural being that's supposed to be a God and all these things. And I'm like, and so we started reading and different things. I got a call. So throughout all of this transitioning, we stopped going to church. And then I get a call from a cousin of mine out of the blue, right? And he says, hey, man, you probably don't think I'm crazy, but I believe that all of the African Americans that live in America are the real children of Israel. I was like, dude, yeah, this is crazy. This is something crazy. I don't know, where are you getting this from? What does this even mean?
Just out of the nowhere.
Out of the blue.
Right.
And so he started sending me these videos of these guys who call themselves the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
And in this particular group, so it's there's a lot of different sects of these groups. The particular videos that I got was guys standing on the street corners and they yell at people who are white.
Okay.
They do.
Okay.
And they're very racist, very racist. They're calling them devils. They're saying crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But what they were talking about was a lot of what the Christians call the Old Testament. The Old Testament is, our Tanakh. Right. However, it's not, because they're actually switched around. There's some things that they took out, whatever. But so they were talking a lot about the Old Testament, and they were talking about Moses. It was interesting. That really kind of sparked something, because in Christianity, Moses isn't really a key figure, right? Which is crazy to even kind of hear, And so I was like, okay, let me learn more about this Moses guy, And then they kept talking about the Torah and the Tanakh. I'm like, what is this? So it sparked. So we were immediately turned off by all the aggression, the hatred. We definitely didn't feel God there. But it was something that they were saying about this Torah. I was like, okay, there's something here that's just like speaking to us. So my wife and I, we are learning and we're digging deeper and we're searching and we're talking to Rabbi Google, right? And we end up finding like Rabbi Tovia Singer online. And then he flipped our wigs. And all of the questions that we've ever had, we finally had answers. Rabbi Tovia Singer and Jews for Judaism, all these different places, the different rabbis were just very, very calmly, plainly, simply giving answers to a lot of the things that we were very confused about. And the moment I found out the qualifications for who the Mashiach will be, what he's going to do, what he's not going to do, I said, wow, this is how I knew that Judaism was true. And so, long story short, we are learning more, and we found out about the Jewish people. We were like, okay, Moses.
Did you know any Jewish people?
Not personally. We would meet some here and there, but we were just very curious about the way that Jews lived.
Right.
I used to work on Friday nights and Saturday nights. I used to drive Postmates and Uber and all these things. So the weekend is like that's the money time. So I'm like, why are these guys just outside? Like, how come they're not driving? And then I would hear that they can't watch TV or they don't do things on this Sabbath day. And I'm like, I don't understand it, And
Did you start to like check out Jewish neighborhoods or like?
so not at that time. So,
Okay.
but I only did once we started learning about
Okay.
Judaism.
Okay.
So then at the time we started learning about Judaism, then my wife and I would be like, wow, remember those neighborhoods that we were going to? They're walking. Now we know why. So everything was starting to make sense for us. And we didn't even know that you could convert. We just thought you had to be born into this thing. And so we went for, right, it was crazy. So we said, okay, well, you have to be born into this way of life, but like it's something like we love it. We want this. How do we? And so we said, okay, well, first I need to also know that we're not crazy. I need to make sure that there are other people who are wanting to be Jew. What did they do with this information? Mm-hmm. Also, I also wanted to know, are there other Jews that look like me? And that was important for our family, because, from the outside looking in, you don't see that a lot, right? You don't see a lot of diversity within Judaism until you're in it,
Right.
Till you come to Israel,
Right.
And then you see the beauty.
Every color and flavor.
Yeah. But outside looking in,
Yeah.
right, you don't really see that.
Yeah.
And so I Googled Black Orthodox Jews. And it found Nissim Black. And I was fascinated by his story, his upbringing, his career. He's a recording artist. He has a big family. And then I found out he wasn't born Jewish. It's like he converted. And so we're learning about what it took. My wife and I, we looked at each other. We said, okay, let's do this thing.
Really?
Yeah. It was something that was in us, and we knew that just keeping the 7 Noahide laws, right? It wasn't enough for us. It wasn't enough. We wanted all of it. We were like, this Shabbat thing that y'all got, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. To shut off for a whole day.
It's a gift.
It's a gift. I cut my phone off. I'm spending time with my family. It was beautiful because it was very reminiscent of what I used to do on Sundays, right? With my family, we would get home from church. We'd go to church, get home, go to my grandparents' house, and it's family, and it's games, and it's fun, and it's food. I'm like, the Shabbat thing is very familiar to me. I was like, I already do this, And, but it was just deeper. I'm like, whatever this means, I want it.
What did your family think?
They were very mad. Very
Mad?
Yeah.
Family and friends?
Family and friends. Now, I have to clarify, not all of them. Some of them, like my brother, at first he was very confused. He's just like, yo, where'd this come from kind of thing, obviously. But eventually, now me and him, we're very close. He's super duper supportive. Like he even, like on our Chagim, he'll call me. He'll say, "Hey, happy Hanukkah, brother." So it's just very, very sweet, and I appreciate it so much. But then there's quite a few people in my family who were very, very disappointed, very mad, very angry.
I think you went crazy.
I think I went crazy. That was exactly what they said. Who are you hanging out with? Who brainwashed you? This isn't how you were raised. We don't do this. And it hurt. There's even people, very, very close people in my family, immediate family, who cut me off.
Wow.
Completely cut me off.
That is really hard.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Living your truth is very hard.
Yes, it is. But we don't regret any of it. It was the best decision we've ever made, and we'll do it again if we had to.
They say that when you convert, so that your soul, there's like something in the Gemara that says that your soul is reborn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
My question is, what was your soul before you converted? Did you have a spiritual relationship with something before?
I did. Totally. Like I said, I was.
Like, what happens to that neshama?
That's a good question.
Tell me how you feel.
Yeah. So I was raised to be very spiritual. I growing up, I did have a relationship when I was younger and things like that. At least I thought so, And, I was always taught to put God first, to pray, and to, all these different things. Very, very strong midot, it was until my adulthood, my married life. That's when we really started wanting something a little bit deeper. Because the moment that you start asking questions in Christianity, that's when things get flipped over. Because you ask a question and it doesn't stand on anything. It's because it's not truth. And so anything that doesn't stand on truth, it can easily just topple. So that's why a lot of pastors say things like, "Don't you ask that question." That's why they stop you. Because sometimes there are even some pastors who know that it's not true. But because they're in too deep and they make money, they don't want their church to stop coming to church and they don't have a paycheck. So they like, let me just sit quiet. That's the reality of it. And so what happened to the neshama? I mean, I feel like it was, I don't know. I mean, it's...
Do you feel like it was a continuation, or do you feel like you just were born again as a Jewish person?
I think a little bit of both. I think, it was a continuation because the spirituality, I've always been like a deep person. Mm-hmm. Even within Christianity, I wanted to go deep. I like deep stuff. And so, but coming over to Judaism and the Torah, that deep side of me was able to get fulfilled. So maybe there's still a little part there, but I feel more so that it was a complete new rebirth, though, especially after when you convert, like that final phase is the mikveh.
Right.
And that was the most incredible experience. That was transformational. It was spiritual. It was beautiful. My whole family, my wife and I, all of our kids had to go in the mikveh, and it was...
Well, you did it all as a family?
We did, yeah. We converted all together.
Wow.
The Beit Din wouldn't allow us to do it any other way, especially because we had older kids. So, we had teenage kids, and so they were like, listen, they have to want it for themselves.
Right.
Because if not, then it's going to cause problems in your family. And the Beit Din clearly said, like, we can't be responsible for that.
Right.
The cause of a family being torn apart.
Right.
And so they met our older children one time, and that's all they needed to know. They met them, and they were very impressed. Yeah.
My ex-husband converted.
Oh.
He was a convert. Excuse me. He was a convert. And actually, which is interesting, is that his parents, like his mother wasn't Jewish. She converted, and so he converted as well as a young child. And then when they got married, they adopted 2 African-American kids.
Wow.
And brought them to Israel to raise them here.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
How beautiful is that?
Yeah, it's a really incredible story.
Wow.
So besides your family that it was you had a difficult time with, you guys decided that you're going to publicize your life. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Tell me how that has been for you to be in the public eye. Like, obviously it was your choice. Mm-hmm. But is it difficult?
Well, I'll say it can be.
But it's personal, right?
It's personal. But I'll tell you how it started. When we were going through this whole transition out of Christianity, looking into Judaism, we were searching like crazy for families online that can just talk about this whole journey. And there was really no one that we could find, not husband and wife with kids, like really, really talking about it. And then also people of color. It was important, right, that we were able to just connect, right? Because we have a culture, we have a background, and I just wanted to know, like, were there people like us doing this thing? And so, like, looking on YouTube, wasn't a whole lot of that. So my wife and I said, you know what? Let's document this thing, our whole journey, because what if we could be help to other people just like us at some point?
Oh, beautiful.
What if we can be that?
Wow.
And we already had some YouTube stuff going on. We had a YouTube channel. It was called a House of Hearts. So Hart is our last name. And it was just about marriage stuff. Me and my wife, we were just talking about how we make our marriage work and things that we've learned, things like that, family. And so she said, okay, if we're going to do this thing, it has to be for Hashem. And we want to make sure that it's like not a piece of us at all in it. So when people see our videos, they have to see Hashem, not us at all. So she said, let's take our name out of it. So instead of calling it the House of Hearts, what's the Hebrew word for heart? Lev. She said, let's call it a House of Lev. So that's how it started. And we put out one video, 2023 in October. And Oh, I'll tell you. At first, we were doing the marriage stuff, but then we were talking to some social media influencers, actually by the name of Moses and Zipporah, right? Awesome family. I believe they live in Florida. But so Zipporah, she was talking to us, and so she was like, "Hey, you guys aren't like sharing." She thought that we were already Jewish.
Okay.
Based on what we were posting. And so she was like, and I was like, no, we're not yet. We're going through a process. She was like, you guys aren't sharing that? And I was like, no, we want to be careful because we're going through the process. We want to make sure the Beit Din we don't give the wrong impression. And so she was like, listen, if you ever decide to do it, then I think it'll be a lot of people can learn from it. And then that sparked the conversation, my wife and I. We talked to our rabbi. Our rabbi said it was okay. And then the Beit Din actually found out, and they were totally okay with it also. And then that's how it started. And so we said we were we did it, House of Lev, and I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about how I asked you about being in the public eye.
Being in public eye. Oh, we put out a video. First video, just about the whole journey, our transition, why we decided to convert and all these different things. In the video, it went huge everywhere. And we said, okay, we got to keep going with this thing now. A lot of people are like, they're very inspired. And so it became a thing. It became a thing, and it turned into what it is now. And, being in the public eye is not an easy thing, because every video that we put out, we have to make sure that we understand it's a responsibility.
That's right.
And we can't take it lightly. We have to be careful. Everything that we say, it can't just be just because. Every single video that we put out has to be intentional, because
that's a huge responsibility.
Yeah, we're responsible. And our goal has just always been, we want to help bring people closer to God. That's been our whole thing. And so it can be challenging at times, because we'll go really, really hard. I'll tell you, like, on our cycle, we'll go hard on making content. And then because of what's involved in creating the content and then editing it and putting it out,
it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. And then, you go places. Like I told you, we were living in the Mirkaz.
Right.
And it was, we didn't have a lot of rest. It's that when you go, and here's the thing, don't get me wrong. We love meeting people from our online community. We absolutely love it, right? But there are times, though, where maybe we're having a rough day. And we just like, I just want to chill. You know what I mean?
I find a lot of people who are influencers, they have a hard time making a differentiation between realities. Like, is that my reality?
Yeah.
Is social media my reality?
Right.
Or is my home, my family, my kids, like this? Is this reality?
Right.
And it's really hard to find the balance.
It is.
Do you guys find the balance?
We do. We try our best. Because again, like, so we like to vlog. So there are like very, very beautiful moments in our family where we're like, okay, do we vlog this? If we vlog it, yes, it'll be beautiful. It'll be inspiring to a lot of people. But it's like, oh, it's a personal moment. I don't feel like pulling out my camera. I just want to be present.
Right. It's like being at a concert and taping the whole thing
100.
instead of enjoying the concert.
Absolutely. I'm just like, I want to just be present with my kids. So there are lots and lots of moments that we don't grab because we want to be present. But then on the flip side of it, it's like, it would be inspiring also, because again, our goal is to be able to help people. So it's, you got to find the balance.
What about your kids? What do they feel about it? How do they get along?
Yeah.
Are they into it also?
Not really. My son, Bezalel, he's into it. Like, he's really into like photography and videography and things like that. And he likes to be in the videos. My wife and I, we did a talk at a seminary a few weeks ago, and it was during a Shabbat, and my son came up for the first time and sat next to us while we did a Q&A. He's 16.
Okay. Cute.
And so he said that he actually wants to be like a public speaker and things like that. So he's more open to it. Our oldest daughter, Leah, she's not. She's more on the quiet side, and so she's not into being on camera and things like that.
You don't force them to do it,
No,
right?
never.
You're not like Kardashian, right?
Never, never. No, no, no. And we ask. We always ask. Like
Yeah.
if we're vlogging something with the family, I'll say, hey, such and such, do you want to be in the shot? And they say yes or no. And we're like, okay, I'll just edit it out or I'll just get a different angle. You know what I mean?
Quick pause because there's something I want to tell you about that I'm genuinely loving. I've partnered up with Groovim Socks, an Israeli sock brand that knows how to have fun with identity. Their designs cover everything from Theodore Herzl to shakshuka, culture, humor, and personality that you can actually wear. And honestly, if you're like me and have a hard time choosing gifts for people, this is the perfect option. It's fun, thoughtful, and something people can actually use. And here's the deal. When you order 3 or more pairs, you get 45 shekels off. Just use the link in the description below or say my name, Dayna, Dayna, at the checkout, and you'll get your discount. Now back to the episode. So you guys converted and then you moved to Israel.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to come here?
We always wanted to. So it's like as soon as we started learning about Judaism, we realized and understood the connection that every Jew has to the land of Israel. And we said, okay, at some point we're going to move. And we thought it was going to be a very long time because we have older kids and teenagers making aliyah.
Right, we talked about that.
It's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
And so we made it up in our minds that it was going to be when they got out of high school, right? Which at the time would have been like 5 years or whatever. Excuse me. And but a lot of prayer. It was a lot of prayer involved. And I remember telling Hashem, like, listen, selfishly, I was like, God, we want to go right now. But if it's meant to just be here in America until they get out of school.
Have you ever been to Israel before then?
I have.
Okay.
I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay.
But I was praying. I'm like, okay, but if it's your will that we stay here, then okay, I accept it. But I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna be happy with it. I don't like it. I want to go. So maybe months later, our daughter and son come to us like, listen, things ain't working out where we are. Change your heart. We want to finish high school in Israel. All of a sudden, in the middle of high school already, and they want to stop and they want to finish in Israel. And so it was the moment that they said that, we said,
Like, let's pack our bags. We're going.
Let's go. And so the process began, and that was it. So we're here in Israel because of our older kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thank
Wait,
God.
so how long after you guys converted did you move here?
So we converted November 2023, a month after October 7th. And then that January 2024, we started our application. And then so we had to wait like 9-10 months for the whole process to be completed and go through. Because we also, when you convert, you have the Beit Din they require you to have to live in your community for a certain amount of time before you can leave.
Right.
They want to make sure that you're acclimated, you're in the community, and you're involved. And so we had to wait that amount of time, and so we did, and then we were able to make Aliyah. 2024, last year we made Aliyah. So what's that? Where are we at? Yeah, it was 2024. 2024 of November.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's it been in Israel?
Overall, good. It's the best place. Like it was never even a question. Like this is home. Like to be able to say like the creator of the universe, he gave us a place. It's like it's an amazing thing. And like we have to live there. And so we it's been great. And I always like to say that moving to Israel, it's like you come over here with all this baggage. Right, you live in Chutz La'aretz, for a certain amount of time, and you have this spiritual baggage, this emotional baggage that you bring over here, and it's like every day it's like being pruned off here, because here this is where you a Jew really, really grows and evolves and becomes the person that you were born to be. This is where Rabbi Nachman of Breslov said, this is the only place to build emunah. It's the only place to build patience and to grow and develop. And so how do you build patience? Well, you're going to have to go through things that require you to have patience.
That's right.
How do you build emunah? You're going to have to go and experience tough things that's going to stretch your emunah. And there's no other place like Israel that's going to stretch you in that area. So each person goes through different challenges and different things, and so everybody says that first year of Israel is tough, right? And so we're coming out of that first year, and things are still tough, right? But our first year was very, very tough.
Did you experience racial discrimination when you were living in the United States?
Not really.
So like now, like after October 7th, when there's like this huge shitstorm of anti-Semitism, right?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel about being a Jew? It's like you're part of this minority, now you're part of this minority.
Right.
And now everyone hates you for doing, like, not you specifically, but us for this. Like, how does that make you feel? This is like the club that you joined.
Yeah.
And like we're the most hated now in the world.
To be honest with you, it's a badge of honor.
Really?
Yeah, totally. It makes us feel like, okay, you're on the right side.
How so? Like, I feel that way, but why do you feel that way?
Well, I mean, it's been happening since the beginning of time. That the Jewish people were always, the people that were quote unquote at the bottom and stepped on and treated, mistreated, and and I'm like, for me, I always just understood that it's a privilege to be a Jew. It's a privilege to be chosen by God. It's a gift. And so with that gift, I also just always just understood that it's not going to be easy. And I understood, I learned the nature of God, of who God is. Like he's good. And so that means that everything that he does is good. So that means that everything that happens to us has to be good. He only does good. And Rabbi Nachman teaches that one of the main reasons why we suffer is because we lose das, lack of awareness of God, of what? Hashgacha pratit, that he runs the world. The moment that we forget that he runs the world, that's when we experience the pain and the suffering, whatever. Now, do we suffer and go through hard things? Of course. But the closer that we are to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the easier it is to deal with things and to be able to say, like, even though this is crazy, I know your heart. You're good, and you only want my good. Yeah. That's all. I learned it at the very, very beginning. When I first started learning Torah and Judaism, I found Rabbi Nachman of Breslov.
That's right. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, and so his teachings.
Wait, at what point did you discover Breslov?
At the beginning. So when I was on the internet searching for Black Orthodox Jews, I found a guy that I met online, and he had Breslover Chassid on his Instagram bio, and I was like, what does this mean? So he taught me. He showed me some books, and I was like, whoa. And it was beautiful for me because I'm like, I'm a deep guy, but Rabbi Nachman was just like, it's all about simplicity. He can take these beautiful, deep, lofty concepts and just make it so practical and simple. It's just like, don't overdo it. Be a simple yid. And I'm like, that's right up my alley. Be happy. Be b'simcha. Judge everybody favorably. Find the good points within yourself. Find the good points in other people. Don't judge. I was like, this is it for me. So that became my hashkafa, my perspective at the very beginning of my Torah learning. So it was the most beautiful thing. As I'm learning halacha, Gemara, and all these different things, I had it to build on top of Breslov perspective. So it helped me.
How's your Hebrew?
So I can read like in daven from my Siddur in Hebrew.
Wow, was that hard to learn?
Not really. Me and my two older kids, we learned. So in our like transition out of Christianity, like we found some different groups online, and we start taking online courses together on how to read. So we learned how to read, way before we converted. Yeah.
Cool.
Being able to converse, I'm not there yet. Yeah.
What about Jewish food? Kosher food. Well, not kosher food, because anything, well, you could make anything kosher now, but Jewish traditional food. Tell me, what's your favorite and least favorite?
Oh, wow.
You can say something negative. You can say one thing negative.
My favorite.
Do you like cholent?
I do. It just has to be flavored. It has to be like seasoned really good. Yeah, I've had some bad challenge.
Yeah?
I've had some bad challenge.
Yeah.
I
We all have.
maybe it's cliche. Like my wife's challah, it's the highlight of my Shabbat.
Really?
It's incredible. It's next level. See,
She's a good baker, your wife?
and she's the best.
Yeah.
She's the best.
Wow, you're lucky.
But I am blessed. So my wife, so she was already just an amazing cook before we converted. So like she was just big on like soul foods and like collard greens and like chicken wings and steak and sweet potatoes and all these different things. So like she makes still all that stuff,
Right.
you know. So those are like my favorite type of foods. And but let me see a classic like Jewish dish. I've had good and bad gefilte fish. Like even though like I'm, Sephardim don't really get gefilte fish or whatever, right? But I've had good and I've had some that's not good.
Are you considered Sephardi?
I am Sephardi.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, so you do all the Sephardi customs?
I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yep.
Okay. So gefilte fish. Sometimes yes, sometimes
yes,
no.
sometimes no.
What about Israeli food?
I love Israeli food.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like spicy?
I do. There's Moroccan fish. That's really good. My wife makes a good Moroccan fish. I've also had it at like different Shabbat dinners also. Dips. So like this, Israel's
Yes.
all about the dips
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. So we weren't about that back in America. When we came here, we were like, I love this. Oh, let me try this. So like we're in
yeah.
love with the dips.
That's like the first half an hour of your meal.
Oh
here.
yes, it's the best. It's the best. Okay, so there's a classic soup, right? It's like this noodle soup. No, yeah, like a chicken noodle soup. I've had good and I've had bad. The bad that I've had, it's just like sometimes people just put the broth in it and then throw a chicken in it and then serve it to you.
That's right.
And it's like, I'm not a fan of it.
It's an art. It's an art.
Yeah. But then I've had people that just like do it up. They put the vegetables in it. It's like, yeah.
Do you miss anything from your past?
Yeah, I do. I miss my family. It's tough because we were so close knit, and I can't do what I used to do. Like I haven't seen my family in years.
Really?
Yeah,
Even your parents?
My parents, I haven't seen them in years. I seen my father. He came like a year before we made Aliyah. Mother, I haven't seen in years.
Ay.
But because we were from Detroit, Michigan, but then we made it. We moved to California, and we were there for 12 years before coming here. And so, I mean, once we went to California, it was a family we didn't see for a long time.
Do you want to contact her?
Who?
Your mom.
Yes and no. Yes and no. It's a tough thing. It's a tough thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that must be really rough.
It's very rough.
Wow.
Very, very rough. But yeah, we just with the majority of my family, like we like if we were to get back together and see each other, there's a lot of I'm just different now. Like I can't go to certain places. I can't eat what we used to eat, so it's like I don't know how to be yet. I don't know how, because and also for them, they don't understand my new life yet. Now there's a lot of people in my family who don't understand, but they accept, and that's all I wanted. I never expected anybody to just understand all my new decisions and my life change. But what I did want was just accept it. Just accept. Me and my wife were happy. We're not crazy lunatics. Our kids are thriving. Like, if anything, we're as happy as if we've ever been,
Did you
But
take that into consideration when you decided to convert, that you might be losing family members?
we thought about it, but it wasn't a determining factor of whether we was going to do it or not. We knew it though. We knew that if we do this, it's going to be some repercussions. Because the moment that once we started learning, we just made it up in our mind. We was like, okay, we're not Christians anymore. Like we started sharing it with people in our family, and the response, in certain situations were it wasn't good.
Do you feel like you have, like, that your friends here have become your family?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Is it supportive enough for you?
Totally. Absolutely. Me and my wife, we were actually talking about it last night. That's one of the beauties of Judaism, is that you're now joined into this ginormous family.
That's right.
And again, because we did like a YouTube video last night, and I was like, but I want to make sure that we're clear on this video. This isn't to say that our family, our immediate family, is not important, and not it's not less. We want to make sure that we're very clear on that, because it's not a leaving our family going into somewhere. It's like, no, it's a joining in. So I want to make sure that that's also clear, because again, I have lots of great relationships with a lot of people in my family. There's a lot of people that still love me and care, but the reality is there are also people who just don't really care anymore. Yeah.
How has the Israeli or Jewish community here accepted you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's been with open arms. Coming to Israel, one of the biggest things that we had to adjust to is like Israeli culture. Israelis are different.
Newsflash, I'm still adjusting after 30 years. Okay.
Yeah, Israelis are different. One of the things that it took us a while, and maybe we're still not even used to it. It's just the staring. Especially like in a lot of different communities. We just like, we're on the bus. You walk in, and it's like just for the whole ride.
Yeah, it's intense.
And in a lot of cases, they just do that with everyone. They just stare.
Yes.
Kids just stare. At first, we took it personal. And we're like, okay, it's because we're black that they're staring at us. And so over time, and with the help of our friends and things like that, people had to help us understand, like, okay, listen, it's more than likely has nothing to do with how you look.
It doesn't.
This is just what they do.
Yeah, they just uncouth, and they in general don't have manners.
Yeah, but it's beautiful because now there are situations where it is based on how you look. Like we've had many situations already where we get judged, from how we look or how we dress.
Right.
Based on certain communities that you're in.
Right.
And so we've also experienced that. And my wife she's amazing at teaching our children. And she said, what happens? Because sometimes our kids come and like, oh, such and such was looking at me. My wife, she tells a story. She said, what happens when you're walking outside and you see this beautiful flower? I said, what do you do? She's like, I look at it. It's like, for how long? Well, if it's really, really beautiful, I stare at it for a long time. I can't keep my eyes off of it. And she was like, exactly. You're a beautiful flower. And so that's like what my wife is constantly instilling in our children, is understand, like, regardless of what the intention is, if they're staring, just know that you're beautiful. It's probably because you're beautiful.
True.
You're a beautiful flower.
When you walk around in Israel, you see there's so many different kinds of Jews.
Yeah, totally.
Were you prepared for that kind of variety?
Yeah, so I was mentally prepared because we saw it like on videos and things like that, and we would hear about it. When we first got here and we saw, we was like, finally, because it's so important to see. And especially for our children to be able to see just the beautiful diversity amongst the Jewish people. So we were relieved, like, finally we get a chance to see it. So it was beautiful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about the way people dress? How, like, different religious sects dressed in different ways?
It's great. It's great. I mean, I've had I've had a transition, like I've had my transition of dress also. And I just think it's based on just where you are individually, and I've come to realize like all the different ways that people dress, it's all beautiful. It's all beautiful, right? There's 12 tribes of Israel, different customs, different ways, and all these different things people hold differently. So I've come to just see it as it's all beauty. But the most important thing is, though, that we have to treat each other the same. We have to make sure that we're very careful not to judge people, and making sure that our dress doesn't put us on a pedestal and cause us to make ourselves feel superior to other people. I wear this, and it makes me feel superior to you, so you're inferior, and you're not as frum because you don't wear this.
Right.
You're not as religious because you don't wear this.
Right.
That's a big problem.
We have Hashem, and then we have everybody else, and we're all at the same level.
That's it. We don't hold there. We know that everybody has their journey. It's all beautiful, and your clothes don't make you a Jew. What you wear has nothing to do with it, right? And for some people, it could add, to maybe your avoda, but it doesn't make you better or less than any other person.
How did you feel about tzitzis when the first time you put them on?
Well,
the Arba Kanfut.
I thought they were super cool.
Really?
I couldn't wait to put them on.
Is it hard for you to wear them all the time?
No, it's easy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You like it?
I love it. Just to, I think some days I wear them out. Some days I wear them in. Like the Sephardi culture, Sephardim tuck them in, most of the time. But for me, I don't really care. I do it based on however I feel at the end of the day. But whenever I have them out, though, it is something special because I'm like, this is one of the signs that I'm a Jew. This shows like nobody else wears these.
That's right.
Right? So it's like a cool identifier for me. It's like, especially when we were in America, I was very, very openly Jewish. And I never hid it or anything like that. But it just gave me a really strong sense of pride. Like,
wow.
I would wear it and I would see other people. And especially I would go other places, because in America, everybody's not Jewish, So you go into a grocery store or a clothing store and you see somebody with the ZZ or a kippah. I'm like, brother, it makes you feel proud,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your music a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it.
So when you first got to Israel, right, you put it on the side for a little bit?
Yeah, so
right?
I put it on the side for a long time. So I haven't touched music for 12 years.
Well, Chava mode.
Ugh.
That's really sad because you're so talented.
Thank you. So it was in 2014, 15. My wife and I, we became entrepreneurs and we started building businesses for ourselves. And we wanted to go all in. Remember I told you, like, we're very like all in people.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to put our blinders on and just like nothing else. And so because I knew me, if I was building a business and also doing music on the side, I wouldn't be able to run as fast. So I'm like, let me just hurry up and get this thing done. Then I can go back to my music. But after a couple years of being entrepreneurs and in business, I'm like, and that was also the journey of finding Judaism. So then it was another thing. I'm like, wow, I want to do music again now, but I actually understand the significance of a Jew writing music and someone who's not Jewish writing music. And I said, I'm going to wait until I convert to write again.
That's
because I wanted all of my music to be written from the holiest place. Like, again, a Jew being able to tap in to where music comes from and be able to pull it down correctly the right way and to be able to use it to help draw people in closer to Hashem. I wanted to be able to use that and have the purest neshama that I could have.
Wow.
And then we made the decision to make Aliyah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it on hold again. We converted, and I was going to do music again. I was like, you know what? I don't want to write anything in Chutz La'aretz.
Wait, I want to ask you something.
Please.
Because this is important. Do you feel like your music, the place that you are in your life, has an influence on the type of music that you produce,
1000%.
that you create?
My whole life is music. Everything, all of my experiences are songs. Everything, and so that's why I said I make Aliyah. I want every song note written in the holiest land, in the air, every pen stroke, every word. And so once we got here, it's like, it's time. Now it's time. I felt the time was right. I already had my studio equipment ready to go. And as I sat there, and I'm like, my mind was just racing, because all of these years I haven't done music, but I'm a totally new person now. So how I used to think about music and how I used to write is totally different now. And now I'm like, oh my gosh,
Fascinating.
I have so many different things. My mind is different now. And so now I'm able to pull from all of my experiences. I can open up the Torah and make a song. I could what I really love is to just really take from exactly where I'm at. What I do is I sit in front of my computer and my MIDI controller, my keyboard, and most of the songs that I've out of the 7 that I have, I've written 6 out of 7 of those right in front of my computer, right then and there, based on how I was feeling.
Wow.
And yeah, like I wrote a song called "I Don't Feel It," and that came from a real place of me not feeling it. And what do I mean? We all go through like ebbs and flows in our spiritual walk. And there are days where you want to connect to God, like you want to pray, but it's just like, because of life, today's not the day. I'm not feeling it. And I'm like, God, but you know my heart though. You know I want it. But I can't feel it. How come I don't feel it? And I wrote a song, and people were able to really, really connect from it.
So I've seen you started performing, right?
Yeah.
So promote yourself. Tell me what you're up to.
Yeah. So my goal right now is to really just create a catalog of music. For me, like I love, like R&B was like that was my jam. Back when, before my Jewish life, that's all I really listened to. It puts me in a really, really good place. So once we converted, I made the decision not to listen to any secular music anymore.
Really?
I did, yeah.
Up until now, you don't listen to secular music?
I don't.
Why?
Rabbi Nachman has a teaching on it. And I read that, so all music comes from the same place. If it's good or bad, comes from Shemayim. It depends on who's bringing it down. That determines the energy that it has. And so music carries, it carries emotions and feelings and direction and things like that. And so he talks about how when a Jew writes the music, it comes from the most holiest place. And as far as the building of the neshama and its connection to Hashem, listening to Jewish music helps that connection so much more than listening to music that's not Jewish, right? And again, this isn't a knock on music that's secular. For me, it was when I heard that listening to Jewish music will help my neshama connect better. That's why I made that decision.
So if you walk into a restaurant and like there's Marvin Gaye in the background,
yeah,
will you leave?
Of course not. No.
Okay. Or will you be like, oh, turn that up. I want to hear more.
No. Listen, I'm not. I'm not a machmir guy like that.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty strict restriction you put on yourself.
It is. Like again, because I've been in many situations like that, to where I'm in a setting where some of my old jams will come on. And I'm not weird about it. I'm like, oh. Not weird about it, like if it's an opportunity for me to, like, if I'm not personally going on my Spotify and clicking it, and it's just I just want to, I know me, and a lot of the music that I used to listen to, I also have moments attached to these songs.
Right.
experiences that are
Right.
attached to this music.
It's true.
My whole life, my whole non-Jewish life
true.
were these songs.
Yeah.
I can think of any song and immediately an emotion will follow.
Right.
Immediately a situation, a real life situation with an old relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was another main reason why.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Music is so powerful. You're
Oh,
right.
yes, it's very powerful.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just I choose just to, keep it over here. But my point for saying that though, R&B music. So because that was my jam, as I started, going through the Jewish music, I'm like, it ain't no Jewish R&B over here. And so I was like, I need to make some. Then my wife and I, we were talking with some young people from seminary and from different yeshivot, and a lot of them were saying like, listen, being honest with you, I listen to pretty much all secular music because as a young person, I can't connect with the Jewish music that's out. And that was very striking for me. I was like, what? And I was like, why? It's like, I know all those songs. I know who all those artists are, and I know why young people are connecting over there. The reason is because they're relatable. The reason is because they're talking about pain. They're talking about real life stuff. They're talking about relationships, right? Like the main, right? Who we are as Jews, it's all about marriage. Like we're all about marriage and relationship and this life stuff. But then we don't really have a lot of songs that really speak to that. When a person, especially younger people, when these kids are feeling and experiencing something in life, music is one of the first places that they go to feel validated, or to express themselves, or to release. And so they go over there. They listen to all these different songs because these songs understand how to bring people into the music, And so, and there's the beats, the musics, that like the sounds, the melodies. So I said, you know what if I can just make a whole bunch of music that maybe sound a little bit like that, but it's Jewish, and that's what I do.
How's that working out for you?
Amazing. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to be able to see people responding the way that they have to the music. Of
course, because it's coming from your soul. Why not?
Yeah. And people are saying like, this is exactly what I've been waiting for. It doesn't exist anywhere in the Jewish world. And so people saying it's helping them get closer to God. And I'm like, oh, my daughter sent me a message of one of her friends from seminary, and she was cooking for Shabbat. This was this past Friday. And she sent her a video with my song playing in the back. And she said, Leah, no joke, I'm not saying this because he's your father, but I love your dad's music. It's like, I'm sitting here. Oh, she said, usually on Friday, I'm listening to hip hop. Getting ready for Shabbat. I'm listening to like non-Jewish music, hip hop stuff. But now, like your dad has music, and it sounds like that stuff, and it's holy, it's Jewish, and this feels so amazing.
I so appreciate you. I so appreciate your contribution, and I feel like everything has a reason,
Thank you.
And like we're on one hand, like when I look at people convert, I'm like, wow, like, why would you want to be Jewish? It's so hard, But on the other hand, like it inspires us and it validates the people that were always Jewish, that like it's something so special that people want to do it.
Yeah.
And the person that you are, the people that your family is such a welcome addition to our club.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So I appreciate you and all that you're doing. And I wish you and your family so much hatzlacha. I know that everything is going to be beautiful for you here in Israel.
Thank you.
Welcome home.
Thank you so much.
Welcome home.
So happy to be here. And hatzlacha to you.
Thank you.
You're doing a beautiful thing. Don't stop. You're helping a lot of people. You're doing a beautiful, beautiful work.
God willing.
And Hashem should continue to bless you in every single thing that you do.
Thank you so much, Akiva. And you're always welcome to come back.
Thank you. I'll come back. Let
Okay.
me know.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of The Dayna Show. If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to the podcast, like and share with your friends on social media, and rate us 5 stars. Don't forget to tune in next week, and we'll see you then.